Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Meeting of July 16th, 2025. We'll start with our flag salute with Commissioner Gary Watts.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. And roll call, please.
Commissioner Hagel? Here. Solis?
Here.
Watson?
Here.
Watts?
Here.
And Chair Turley Trail.
Here. Do we have any public comments on non-agendized items?
We have not received any.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go to the consent calendar. All matters listed under consent calendar are considered to be routine and all will be enacted by one vote. There will be no discussion of these items unless members of the commission request specific items be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. A total of 30 minutes is provided for members of the public to address the commission on items that appear on the consent calendar. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Public comments may be made in person at the meeting by submitting a speaker card to the commission secretary. Speaker cards will be called in the order received. Still images may be displayed on the projector. All other audio and visual use is prohibited. Public comments may also be submitted by email for inclusion into the record. Email comments must be received prior to 6 p.m. and submitted to Planning Commission at temeculaca.gov. All public participation is governed by council policy regarding public participation at meetings adopted by resolution number 2021-54. And our first item on the consent calendar is to approve action minutes of June 18th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
And I will abstain. I was not there at that meeting. So that passes 4-0. Thank you. And we'll go on to the public hearing. Any person may submit written comments to the commission before a public hearing or may appear and be heard in support of or in opposition to the approval of the projects at the time of the hearing. If you challenge any of the projects in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at the public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the commission secretary at or prior to the public hearing. For public hearings, each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Public comments may be made in person at the meeting by submitting a speaker card to the commission secretary or by submitting an email to be included into the record. Email comments must be submitted to Planning Commission at temeculaca.gov. Email comments on all matters, including those not on the agenda, must be received prior to the time the item is called for public comments. Any person dissatisfied with a decision of the commission may file an appeal of the commission's decision. Said appeal must be filed within 15 calendar days after service of written notice of the decision. The appeal must be filed on the appropriate Community Development Department form and be accompanied by the appropriate filing fee. All public participation is governed by the council policy regarding public participation at meetings adopted by resolution number 2021-54. Item number 2, planning application numbers PA 24-0509, a home product review development plan, and PA 25-0189, a minor exception application. The home product review for planning area 12 of the Roy Pa Ranch specific plan will allow for 5 unique detached single-family plans with 4 architectural styles consisting of 104 lots. The minor exception will allow for a reduction of the minimum rear yard setback on 5 lots, lots 23, 25, 73, 91, and 95, from 10 feet down to a minimum of 8 feet 6 inches within planning area 12, which is an up to 15% reduction allowed by the minor exception. Jaime, staff report, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So as you stated, we have 2 planning applications, PA 24-0509. That is the home product review to essentially look at the 4 architectural styles that are proposed and the 5 plans that are going to be used across the 104 lots. The other application is the request for a minor exception to allow for an up to 15% reduction on 5 lots. I'll get into more details at the later slides. So the project site is generally located at the northeast corner of the city limits in Planning Area 12 of the Roripaw Ranch Specific Plan. The red star there on the map indicates the project site. There are 3 major arterials available to access the site, starting with Marietta Hot Springs on the north end. The other east to west arterial is Nicholas Road, and then we have a north to south arterial access through Butterfield Stage Road. And before we get into the home product review, I wanted to provide the commission with a quick recap of some of the major entitlements we've had since 2017. So since then, we've had a general plan amendment, 2 specific plan amendments, 22 tentative tract maps, 22 home product reviews, 939 single-family lots, and 374 multifamily units, which is known as a density core, which brings us to 1,313 total residential units entitled, not including what we're talking about at tonight's items. We also have an entitled 2.3 acre park and ride and trailhead, 10.3 acres of private recreation centers, and 26.4 acres of public parks out here in Roripaw Ranch. And so here on this slide, we see highlighted in red the planning area 12 relative to the rest of Somers Bend and the specific plan area. So on this slide, we're looking at the planning area plan, and we have which is a 16-acre site, 104 residential lots with 3,000 square foot minimum lot sizes, homes ranging from 1,821 square feet to 2,522 square feet. As mentioned before, 5 floor plans, 4 architectural styles, and 5 lots with an up to 15% setback reduction through the minor exception application. And the planning area does have all the access to trails, parks, and amenities, minus the 55-plus recreation area. And then since I had the slide up with the map shown there, I'll discuss the minor exception. So the red stars you see there on the map indicate the 5 lots that have the setback reduction. And so the rear yard setback reduction will be applied to 5 of the lots, which include 23, 25, 73, 91, and 95. The minor exception application allows for an up to 15% setback reduction. On lots 23, 25, 91, and 95, they're proposing a 9-foot 6-inch rear setback, which is a 5% reduction, or the equivalent of 6 inches. And then lot 73 is proposing an 8-foot 6 rear yard setback, which is the full 15% setback reduction. And this request is intended to provide a variation on the street scene to essentially eliminate or reduce the sort of canyon effect that you create when you have multiple homes lined up on the same front yard setback area. And the minor exception does not propose to make any changes to the minimum lot sizes of 3,000 square feet. So here on this slide, we have the product placement plan along with the homes and their respective rear yard setbacks. Again, lot 73 and the middle top there is the only one that is requesting the maximum 15% reduction at 8-foot 6 inches. And so now we get into architecture, starting with the Spanish style. It's going to be featuring the 2-story typical massing that you see on the Spanish style, the arch component on the first floor, predominantly stucco exterior walls, accent decorative tiles, shutters, windows and door trims, S-tile roofs. We also have the Italian style, which has the 2-story rectangular massing, the typical simple plan form, the hip-type roof, prominent entry with stone accent and S-tile roof. We also have the farmhouse, which includes the porches with the wood columns, horizontal and vertical siding, the vertical window proportions, wood shutters, and concrete flat tile. Lastly, we have the Craftsman, which is the two-story boxed massing with low-pitch roof, stucco board and batten walls, the group windows, and the accent window trim and shutters. So if these homes look familiar, it's because they have been previously approved in similar styles in the other Richmond American homes in the other planning areas. Specifically, that comes to mind is Planning Area 18. And so, as mentioned before, we have 4 architectural styles that are represented as rows, starting with the Spanish at the top, followed by the Italian, American farmhouse, and the Craftsman at the bottom. We also have the 5 different plans that are represented as columns, starting with Plan 1 at 1,821 square feet. This is a 3-bedroom plus loft and 2.5 bath. And then we have Plan 2. It's 2,131 square feet, 3-bedroom plus loft and the bath. Plan 3 here is 2,173 square feet, 4-bedroom plus study, 2.5 bath. Plan 4 is 2,361 square feet, 4-bedroom plus loft, 2.5 bath. And Plan 5, the largest of the 5, is 2,522 square feet, 4-bedroom plus loft, and 2.5 bath. So we want to make sure that all the homes that are visible from the public right-of-way carry the same quality of design that you see on the rear and side elevations. And so the areas highlighted in red here are areas that have the added articulation and detail to the properties that are visible from the right-of-way. So any pedestrian or vehicular traffic that is able to see side yards or rear yards, these are going to be homes that are incorporating the enhanced elevation, which I'll get into the next slide. There are 67 homes out of the 104 that are incorporating the enhanced elevations, so that's 64% of the lots have in either front, side yard and rear yard enhanced elevations, and these enhanced elevations will be featured in all the architectural styles, including Spanish, Italian, farmhouse, and Craftsman. So in the next few slides, I'll be showing you the standard and typical enhanced elevations that are incorporated into each style. So now we're looking at the Spanish design. At the top, you'll see the standard style, and in the bottom 2 images, you'll see the enhanced elevations. So we're starting with the protruding facades here. We have additional divided light, exposed beams, decorative terracotta vents, and window shutters. Moving on to the Italian style, again with the protruding facades and the additional roof articulation, additional divided light. We have a faux window added to fill in the void that we see on the rear yard setback, rear yard of the home. And then we have the window shutters, of course. Farmhouse, again with the protruding facades and roofing, extended roofing. We have the additional divided light. We have the shutters and faux windows added in this one as well. Decorative vertical siding. And lastly, with the Craftsman, again with the protruding facades and roofing. Additional divided light. Shutters. Decorative horizontal siding. And the decorative kickers that is typical for the Craftsman style. So here's a view that we see facing northwest from Butterfield Stage Road and Nicholas Road. west view from Butterfield Stage Road, facing west from Butterfield Stage Road and Roarpaw Valley Road, and then the interior street. So this is what the residents would be viewing. So here you could appreciate a little bit more of the setbacks I was talking about, where you have the homes in the variable setback areas in the front yard that essentially avoids the canyon effect I was referring to earlier. The applicable CEQA section for this project is section 15162, subsequent EIRs and negative declaration. The project is consistent with the previously adopted Roarpaw Ranch Environmental Impact Report and subsequent addendums. And with that, staff recommends the Planning Commission approve PA 240509 and PA 250189, subject to the conditions of approval. Staff's here to answer any questions, as is the applicant.
Thank you, Jaime. I'll go ahead and start on this end with Fernando, the newest father in the group.
Okay. And thank
Questions
you.
for staff?
I do. My first question is about the 10-foot setback. Or is it a 10-foot setback that's required?
Rear yard?
Yep.
Yes.
So the deviation would be for a patio, or would it be for for a house?
The setback is measured from the rear property line to the house itself, not any California rooms or patios or any accessory structures.
Okay, so in addition to that, will the property be able to have a patio?
Yes.
Okay. So what's the setback for like patios?
Typically, it's 5-foot setbacks.
5 foot. Okay. And then also, my other question is the landscape. I noticed that across the way, there isn't any landscape on the, what do you call that? Kind of the landscape before the block wall. So is there going to be landscape like shrubs through the street facades?
We have street trees, shrubs against the retaining walls.
There is? I
Yeah,
didn't see a
it's-
landscape plan.
We do have a landscape plan. If you'd like, I can pull that up.
Okay.
It's not part of the presentation, but I can pull that up for you if we want to come back to that.
Yeah, that was my question. And is there a connection between like a walkable area between this track and Summers Bend?
There is.
There is.
It's through Nicholas. There's a crosswalk there. We have, what is it, Roarpaw Valley Road on the north side of the planning area has another crosswalk there.
Do you have the landscape plan?
It's pulling up right
Oh, okay.
now. Oscar, are you able to pull that up? There we go. So it is tilted on the right, so we have Nicholas Road here and Butterfield Stage. So this is what I was referring to along Butterfield Stage Road. We have the tree-lined.
So there's a tree line, but within the area to the, is that northwest? I didn't see any plants, like any like icons or some shapes for the shrubs, so that's why I asked the question. Like on the plant legend, it shows the street trees, and then on the bottom it shows shrubs, but then I didn't see the shrubs on that area. So that's why.
Right, that's most likely ground cover.
So
And
the
we-
applicant is proposing only ground cover on the street? And there's a note.
We could defer to the applicant on
Okay.
this.
Actually,
there's a note there that says those open space lots. So between the sidewalk and then the slope that goes up to the property line perimeter wall, it appears that there's a separate planning application, PA 20-0568, that deals with the landscaping. So this application is showing it as just green and an open space lot, but there is a separate planning application. That slope will be planted.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Bob?
Okay, this project, does it have an HOA?
It does.
Is the HOA attached to any other project? In other words, will this HOA represent any of the other projects that we'll see tonight or any other projects that we've seen in the past?
It is. It's associated with essentially the rest of Somers Bend. And the only, if you're referring to maybe amenities and maintenance, the only other thing, and we can defer to the applicant to this, but the only thing that is separate from the rest of Somers Bend and what's available is the 55-plus neighborhood.
Okay. The crosswalk on the northwest corner, I'm assuming is a crosswalk that would allow you to go up to the I think it's Sky High Park?
That's correct.
Okay. That's it for now.
Gary?
No questions.
Okay. Mr. Watson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. A question, and I should have made note of the slide number, Jaime, but could you go back to the slide that showed, or that, with the 5 red stars for the lots that we're going to have the revised setbacks, rear sets? Like around 7 or 8, I think. Yes, thank you.
Overriding here.
There it is.
We'll just do this. Is this a slide?
That's perfect. Just had a question about that. So this sort of is a visual attenuation. I guess that's probably not the right way to phrase that, but it attenuates that instead of just a straight row of homes there. Is that part of what this is, to provide more visual interest, did you say?
Correct.
Okay. Curious, so why it seems like it's, why isn't there more of it, I guess is my question. To the north and the west and all that. Why does it seem concentrated at just this end? Was there a reason for that, do we know?
Well, I know the Rorapaw Ranch specific plan talks about the varying setbacks. And, that's in part of reviewing this application. It's something that we want to be cognizant of, is making sure that we do have that deviation. So what I can answer, I guess, is essentially you won't see any homes that are corner to corner on the same horizontal plane per se, but you won't have anything less than a 1'6" variation from that line either protruding forward or 1'6" at least going backward. So at this scale, it is hard to distinguish with the eye.
Okay.
But if we were to do some zooming in, probably on the next slide, you'll be able to appreciate that a little bit more.
Just
Here,
to add,
let's
just
zoom
to add
in.
on to what Jaime said, one of the things we do first as a planner when we get the product placement plan is we look on the streets, especially where there's a long run of straight houses, to make sure we have varying setbacks, because just a 1 foot or 2 foot offset makes a huge difference. So if we see we have like 6 houses in a row that are all right at a 10-foot front yard setback, we don't want that. We want to have a little bit of variation on that for how Jaime was explaining. So we do have 2 other tracks in Somers that were previously approved by Richmond where we did the exact same minor exception, just so you're looking down a street and you see this house located right on the same plane all the way down. So that's first thing you do, open the plans and look for that.
Okay, thank you. That answered my question. Thanks very much.
Okay, Jaime, the only question I have is on, can you go back to the enhanced elevations? Doesn't really matter which architecture, just one example of them. Okay, so on the enhanced elevations, what percentage of those, what percentage of the homes have enhanced elevations?
66, 67%.
And so that 34% or whatever, do they have an option to have elevated or, enhanced elevations? Or should I ask the applicant?
Not a typical builder option, but we can have the applicant
Yeah,
respond
because
to
that's a
that.
huge difference, like, in the look. So, that's a question I have. Okay, are there any other questions of staff at this time? Yes, Mark? Oh, did you say no? Oh, I thought you were saying yes, yes, I do. Okay, watch the hand, okay. All right, so if there are no other questions of staff, then I will go ahead and open the public hearing, and we'll invite the applicant up, please. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, members of the commission. Good evening, staff, Jaime, engineering team, thank you very much. First off, I just want to thank the city team for working with Richmond American these last 6-7 months to present the project here to you. So a couple questions did come up. I'm more than happy to answer whatever questions you might have or provide any clarity on either enhanced elevations, associations, open space areas, connections to the Somers Bend HOA master plan. I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Maybe answer all of those.
Okay,
That'd be great.
sure.
Okay?
Okay, so let me, with regard to, I believe, questions related to accessibility from the community to the existing amenities within Somers Bend, yes, there is a trail, an existing enhanced trail on the north side of Nicholas Road, adjacent to the track that we're looking at, that is interconnected to the intersection of Nicholas and Butterfield Stage Road. So homeowners that live within Plan Area 12, the community that we're discussing, will have access to all of the amenities within the Somers Bend Association. We are, by purchase and by the development of the three, or this planning area, we are already annexed into that association. So we would be part of that association. We would be contributing towards the assessments. We would be contributing towards the improvement and the maintenance, long-term maintenance of Somers Bend. And all of the homeowners within our community would have access to those amenities. With regard to enhanced elevations, yes, 67% of the homes, basically anything that's visible within the public right-of-way, anything that showcases against Butterfield and Nicholas as a requirement, as a standard condition, we always enhance those. The challenge that we had in trying to enhance these conditions on the interior lots, that if you look at that exhibit, didn't show those, there's a 10-foot separation currently between each building. So there's a 5-foot setback on each side of the house. Some of those exterior protrusions, those pop-outs, do encroach into some of those second space living areas, and it creates a more tunnel-like effect. So maybe on a community that has a larger side setback, that kind of might be more feasible and provide maybe some more exterior relief. On a tight community like that, it makes it very hard to, there really is no benefit, I guess is what I'm saying, to the homeowner or to anyone who's adjacent to a public right-of-way or is looking at the house, because you really can't see it. But on anything.
So there's really only 5 feet to the fence between each home.
Correct, and from building to building, there's 10 feet. So when
Yeah,
you
it's close.
start to place pop-outs in those areas, you actually create a tighter visual, which is obviously something I think that we collectively we want to avoid.
Okay.
I know there were some other questions, I can't recall.
Do you have an HOA question, Bob?
Oh, the front yards, I think, right?
Oh, okay.
I think that was the landscape
landscaping.
on the street side yards.
Yes.
The plan shows just green.
Yes.
I was
so-
looking for more
so-
shrubs.
So as a requirement, because we've built in Somers Bend already, and, I didn't mention, but we're actually, we're excited to be back in Temecula. It's been a couple of years, and I think the last time I stood before the commission was back in 2020, 2021, so I was telling Scott that I think the last time I wore a suit was the last time I was here. But to answer your question with regard to the landscaping, as a condition of building in Somers Bend, and I'm sure City of Temecula, we are required to basically enhance. We will be providing all front yards, any plants, any shrubs. There's a street tree requirement. I don't believe that this community has a parkway. It's literally front yard, sidewalk, and then curb, where other communities within Somers Bend have a parkway and provide that visual landscaping relief. These communities, there is no parkway. Therefore, it is curb, sidewalk, and then front yard. So those front yards will be landscaped, they'll be shrub, they'll be mulched, they'll have street trees. So it'll be somewhat very similar to the conceptual that was presented.
I think my concern is if you drive down Butterfield Road, if you look to the east side, there's a big, large portion of an area that isn't landscaped.
Right, if you drive north on Butterfield, looking east, correct, there is a detention basin there, which is an open space area that, we're not the master developer, but I believe that's a conservation area. And that's a protected area that's not developable. But if you look east, you will see a parkway, you will see street trees, and you will see a 6-foot chain link fence that protects that entire area. So if you then continue to drive north, and you look west at our development, that section of street does have a parkway. There will be a street tree, there will be street trees planted throughout the parkway. And then there will be a sidewalk, and then there will be a slope, which will then be landscaped and covered. So at full development, driving north or south, you will see
Full landscape.
full landscaping on both sides. I hope
So
that
you have any
provides.
questions, Bob?
That was it, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mark?
you're welcome.
I want to thank you for appearing tonight.
You're welcome.
Had a, do you know what the assessment is offhand? This is pretty specific over at Summers Bend that they'll.
There are two associations, one for Somers Bend, the AA community, and then there is the Master HOA. I want to say, and I should know this because I am on the board of directors for the association there, but we don't manage the AQ, the age-qualified section. I think the assessment ranges in between 250 and at full build-out, I believe will be 276.
I see. And then for the products you're showing us tonight, can you give us an idea, just while you're here, of the, what you expect to see those marketed at? What price range?
Great question. I asked our team right before we came. Obviously, as everyone is aware, Temecula is a very desirable place to live. A lot of people have really loved the Somers Bend master plan area. When we built our 3 previous communities there in 2021, they took off. So there was an opportunity for us to come back, and we purchased 3 parcels within the last 3 parcels at Somers Bend. The product type that we're proposing for planning area 12, square footage is 1,800 to 25. Out to market, those are looking to be mid-8s to high 9s.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much again for appearing tonight.
Okay, Gary, any other questions of the applicant? Fernando, you're good? All right, do we have any public speakers?
We have none.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and have discussion at this time, and we'll start on this end with Mr. Watson. So no motions yet, we're just discussing.
Yeah, I don't have terribly much to add. I think my questions were answered by the applicant and certainly by Jaime's always excellent preparedness and report. Thank you for that. So I can't really add much to that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with the explanations and plans. It's going to add to our housing inventory. That's a good thing. There's single-family homes. That's a good thing. I was kind of joking with Lene that the street scene actually should show cars parked in front of the houses because that's what's going to happen. But we'll put that aside. Other than that, I don't have any other comments.
All right, Bob?
Jaime, good job. I know quite a few of the neighbors live in Somers Bend, and there is becoming a major issue with the amenities. That is a clubhouse, which is absolutely beautifully built. I mean, it's incredible, with a major pool, and then I think it's a lap pool. And the neighbors were told moving in that the housing that was being built at that time would be the only housing using those amenities. The property in the middle was to be dedicated to the school district, which the school district refused and then turned into, I believe, mostly condos and apartments, which have access to those amenities, which were not planned from the beginning. They were told then that no other housing would have access to it, and here's 3 projects before us tonight that will have access to it. And the pool situation is such that in order to go into the pool, you have to register, probably make a reservation. You're limited to how many people you can bring in, and they are overwhelmed with the use of their amenities. They did a great job with building those amenities. They're beautiful, so that they are very attractive. But I believe you're going to have a lot of those homeowners who feel like they've been misled. And perhaps they have been, if maybe unintentionally, given that the apartments and the condos in the middle were not planned and originally not expected. And these certainly weren't thought of at that time. But that's something that is accumulating up with more and more volume, handled by, just one clubhouse and one pool. The neighborhood I live in Paloma del Sol, we have 4 pools for, I would say, probably approximate same number of homes. We also have, I think, 8 to 10 parks. There were, besides the sports park that is built there, which is great, and Skyview Park, which is up off of Murrieta Hot Springs. There is I'm not aware of any other parks, no toddler parks or anything like that that's in there. So those amenities are really, really in high demand and high use. I think Girasol is the other closest park. So that's an issue, and I just want to bring it up. I was asked to bring it up, and I don't know if there's anything that really can be done about it, but that's the issue that's out there now.
You want to bring the applicant back up? Would you like to come back up and address that? Okay, I'm going to open that public hearing again.
I can speak to that really quick also, and Edgar can hop in. So the Rapa Ranch specific plan, the specific plan amendments, it speaks to the availability of what we call density core. You're correct, that was originally going to be the school site. School said they didn't want it because there wasn't going to be enough population to populate a school out there. The specific plan analyzed and allowed for the residential units to go in there. It also analyzed for these 3 tracks to go in there and be a part of the previously approved rec center, one for the age qualified, one for the all ages. Can't commingle between the 2. Rapa Ranch specific plan as a whole is actually not being built out to the full extent that it could. There's still an additional, I think last time we did was like 134 houses that could be built. Say if the commercial parcel were to turn into a residential, so then on top of that, there would be more residents that would have access to the one rec center that you are referring to. But that was always analyzed. There was always just going to be one rec center for all ages, one rec center for age qualified, since we started working on this in 2016, 2017.
And as a declarant of the board, every time we meet with the All Ages Association, I, as a representative of Richmond American and declarant of those communities, we are constantly updating the membership on where we're at. So we've been having discussions since we came on board close to a year, almost a year ago. So yes, while those amenities are stressed through the with new homeowners coming on board and the requirement for us to contribute towards the assessment of the community, those reserves are being built so that the association has the necessary funds to address those types of concerns. So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing again. Fernando?
No, I think my questions were answered. And I agree with Jaime about that houses having some type of variation where it doesn't look straight, so.
Yeah. I think for me, and I talked to Jaime about this, my main concern is it didn't just look like, wasn't monotonous in that community, and that's why I was asking about the enhanced elevations, that there was just more variation. So that was my concern. Anyway, so at this time, we'll go ahead and accept a motion.
A motion to approve.
A second?
Okay, motion by Fernando, second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0.
Nope.
Oh, did you say no?
No.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. And we have one no, 4-1. Sorry, Bob.
That's right.
You got to be louder. You got to put your hand in my face like Mark does or something. Okay. All right. Item number 3, planning application number PA 24-0508, a home product review development plan for planning area 10 of the Roy Pa Ranch, specific plan to allow for 2 unique detached single-family plans with 2 architectural styles consisting of 13 lots. Scott?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Jaime did a lot of the background stuff on the Somers Bend itself, so I will not be going into that. These next 2 planning areas are much smaller, but much larger lots, much larger houses. So these will be the next 2, the Shawwood product, the largest lots out there on the project site. So as you stated, this is PA 24-0508, the Somers Bend PA 10 home product review. So also, as you stated, it's a home product review for planning area 10, 2 unique plans, 2 architectural styles for 13 lots. So just to show you where PA 10 is within the realm of Somers Bend, it's there on the north side of Marietta Hot Springs, so the only access into this site will be off Marietta Hot Springs. So this is the location here, just north of Marietta Hot Springs. Contains 13 lots, 3,762 to 4,650 square foot homes. 11,495 square foot is the minimum lot size. There are 2 floor plans and 2 architectural styles. Moving right into the Plan 1 elevations, we have Spanish and we have California Ranch. So on the Spanish, you have arched column porches and decorative clay tile. On the California Ranch, you have multi-paned windows and horizontal siding. We do have enhanced elevations in this tract as well. So there are 6 of the 13 lots contain enhanced elevations. They're all the ones that are backing onto Marietta Hot Springs. So this would be your standard on the left and your enhanced on the right. And you have the shutters and the multi-pane windows and roof line articulation with additional siding on the enhanced. Moving to a standard side elevation and then an enhanced. Again, shutters and multi-pane windows and roof line and wall articulation with the pop out there on the second floor. Moving on to Plan 2, again, California Ranch and Spanish. Continuing with the California Ranch, you have the brick accents and vertical siding. Moving over to the Spanish, you have the concrete S-tile roofing along with decorative Spanish tile on the arches. In terms of enhanced elevations on this, you have your standard and enhanced, again, the shutters, and the roof line articulation and decorative clay tile here on the Spanish. Then a standard side, an enhanced side, shutters and multi-pane windows, vertical siding, and then also in this one you have the wall articulation with the pop-out. Street scene, this would be the interior street scene. So again, there's only 13 lots, 2 architectural styles, so they flip-flop each lot. And then this would be the view from Marriott Hot Springs. Obviously, this is situated much higher above Marriott Hot Springs. It's not at the same elevation. So how much you're actually going to see of these houses would be up for debate maybe as you're going north on Butterfield Stage, but once you get onto Marriott Hot Springs, you're probably not seeing much of the house from the street. In terms of environmental, this is also section 15162, subsequent EIRs and negative declaration, because the project is consistent with the previously approved adopted Royal Paw Ranch environmental impact report and subsequent addendums. So with that, staff does recommend Planning Commission approve PA 240508, subject to the conditions of approval. I'm here for questions, and Mr. Gomez is here for questions as well on this one.
Thank you, Scott. I'll start here on this end. Gary? Any questions?
And no questions at this time.
I have no questions.
Okay, Bob?
Just one question. Could you bring up the first slide that shows the site?
This one or the previous one?
No, that one's fine, yeah. So the black line that's behind there, I gather is the city line?
Correct.
So everything north of that is open land, is that correct?
It's county land and it's open space.
Okay. To the left and to the right of that, that's all within the city property. What is that zoned, or is that open space?
So it's within the city and it's also owned by the city and is zoned open space.
Oh, it is owned by the city?
Correct.
On both sides?
Correct.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
That's all I have.
Can you go back
Hang on,
to?
hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gary.
Quick follow-up on that is the land that Bob referenced, is that still part of the MSHCP reserve system?
To the north,
Yeah.
it is.
So it'll be protected as open space indefinitely. Thank you.
Oh. Did you have a comment with that, Scott?
I was just going to say hopefully so.
Okay.
All right, Fernando?
Can you go back to Jaime's slide, since it's part of the bigger project? Kind of the very first one that shows the whole specific plan. There was another one that has like where the different planned areas are at.
What slide did you have? He's switching it back.
Yeah, that one. Okay, so the green areas are the parks, right?
The, where Jaime is highlighting to the right of that is, that color green is the open space. And then below at the intersection of Nicholas and Butterfield Stage, the other color green is the park. It's the Royal
Okay.
Pot Ranch Sports Park.
And the only pool is on PA 27.
The, so that's the all ages, and then below that is the age-qualified pool area.
Oh, so there's two.
You're correct.
Okay. Okay. That's it. I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Scott? All right. Hearing none, I'm going to open the public hearing and invite our applicant up again for any questions for the applicant. Thank you.
Hi.
Start with Fernando.
Scott, thank you.
You have any questions?
I think I do have one question. If we go to the landscape plan, there's going to be like some type of entry. Is the entry, I don't know what you call it, like a monument sign? Is that going to match also what's going on right now at the Summers Bend, where everything looks similar?
Yes.
It
The
is?
community entry themes are going to be consistent with the rest of the Somers Bend
Okay.
community. So there will be the same exterior entry features.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw there was just like one monument sign there. I think there's an elevation on the grading plan, but that was my only question. Thank you.
Yeah, what it does is it helps tie in those
Yeah.
communities that are aesthetically outside, or what some could consider outside of the rest of the Somers Bend. It actually brings everything into the community. So it makes those homeowners also feel part of
Right.
Somers Bend.
Thank you.
Bob? Nope. Mark?
Only to ask the same question as for the previous one. What are your anticipated price points?
Those are going to be close to 1 million.
Close to one?
Yeah. If
Sub
not-
one?
I think, I'm hearing that they're going to go they're going to go over the 1 mil price point, but as of right now, they're going to be high nines or at 1 mil, but there's a good possibility they're going to go over.
Very good, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions of the applicant? And I'm assuming Gary doesn't have any questions, so I'm going to go, do we have any public speakers?
We have none.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. And let's go ahead with discussion. I'll start on this end. Fernando,
I like the larger lots.
you like the larger
I like
lots?
the larger lots, so it's a great product. Also, the enhancement that you did along the street, even though you probably won't be able to see it, but I think the wrought iron fence, there's gonna be a really nice view.
Yeah. I think
So those, I think
lots
those are the highest, right? Kinda
Those
like
are
the
going to be
highest
the highest,
elevation.
because from that viewpoint, you're actually looking down into the valley, and
Right.
those homes that face or back onto Murrieta Hot Springs are going to have.
Do I need to open the public hearing again because we're having a conversation?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I would go ahead.
Yeah, okay, open the public hearing.
Sorry, so I really, great design. The views are gonna be really nice, so, thank you.
That's all you have, and I open the public hearing. Okay, sorry, I'm going to close the public hearing. All right, Bob, anything? You're good. Gary, you have any comments? Mark?
I'm good.
We're good? Okay, so can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay.
All right, Fernando's hot tonight. We got a motion to approve by Fernando and a second by Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. Okay, 5-0. That passes. Congratulations. Our very first home in Temecula was built by Richmond American, I have to say. I think they have improved since then. Okay, item number 4. Planning application number PA 24-0510, a home product review development plan for planning area 33A of the Roy Pa Ranch, specific plan to allow for 2 unique detached single-family home plans with 2 architectural styles consisting of 15 lots. Scott.
Thank you again. So as you stated, PA 240510, this is Somers Bend PA 33A home product review. So these are going to be even larger lots with even larger homes. So 2 architectural styles, 2 unique plans consisting of 15 lots. Show you where planning area 33A is. It is here just south of Nicholas. So 15 lots, 3,839 square feet to 4,975. So just over 20,000 square foot is the minimum lot size. What there was a requirement in the specific plan for this, as you know, to the west of this is the large, very low density area of the city, large estate lots. So they wanted, as you moved into Somers Bend, to have larger lots on the outside to mesh well with the existing lots. So the edge lots here on the left side of the screen are actually half acres, and then it transitions it down to, a little bit smaller, still 20,000 square feet, but your largest, and then as you're transitioning into Somers Bend. 2 floor plans and 2 architectural styles. Again, we only have 2 plans on this, and we have some single stories, Prairie and Craftsman. You have your brick accents and vertical windows. And then on the Craftsman side, you have stone accents and horizontal siding. For the Plan 1 enhanced elevations, you have your standard elevation and then an enhanced elevation that has your shutters and then also additional siding material. So a standard side and an enhanced side has additional window treatment, and then a continuous header trim. Kind of hard to tell on these screens. There's a little bit of a color difference that would show you where that header trim is. On the Plan 2 elevations, these are the largest houses and Prairie and Craftsman. The hip roof design, as well as concrete flat roof tile. And then on the Craftsman, vertical columns with stone base and paired windows with shutters. On the enhanced elevations, what I decided to do here is just choose the Craftsman and walk you around to all sides of that elevation, just so you can see the difference for one whole entire house. So this is your standard rear, along with an enhanced rear that has your shutters, the multi-paned windows, and the vertical siding underneath the gable. So this would be one standard side with the enhanced side, and you'd have your wall articulation with a pop-out, vertical siding, and window treatments. And then as you move to the final side, your standard and the enhanced, shutters, wall articulation with the pop-out, and then your vertical siding underneath the eave. In terms of the street scene, this is the entrance to the development, so you can see those enhanced elevations on, that's a Prairie home in the front, and then a two-story Craftsman in the back. And then this is the view from the Nicholas Road, or if you're across the street in the existing park and ride. These homes you will see because they're on the same elevation, so you can see especially the articulation on these enhanced elevations. In terms of CEQA, it's also exempt for Section 15162 for subsequent EIRs and negative declaration because the project is consistent with the previously adopted EIR and subsequent addendums. So staff recommends that the Planning Commission also approve PA 240510, subject to the conditions of approval. That concludes staff's report. I'm here for questions. Edgar's here for questions. And then also for this one and the previous ones, the conditions were provided to the applicant, and they had no questions or comments on the conditions of approval.
Okay, thank you, Scott. All right, Bob, I'm going to start with you this time. Any questions of staff?
Could you bring up, let's see, the site with all the houses, or the lots that are showing? So Nicholas, okay, so all the houses across Nicholas and the ones on Butterfield will all be the enhanced.
Correct. So
Plans.
you have 10 of 15 homes are enhanced here. So all of those will be enhanced. All the rears, and then when you get into the development, the two that you see when you do the entrance.
So there's 15 houses, and you said there was 13 of those
10.
that are? Oh, 10, okay, so that's 3/4, okay. So then I'm good for now.
Fernando?
Yeah, my only question is for landscape. I saw those elevations, and I just want to make sure that there's going to be some type of vertical landscaping along that whole side. Because the renderings don't show it, and then the landscape plan.
Along Butterfield Stage or along?
Along where the block wall will be,
So along Butterfield Stage.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, so there will be landscaping. This goes back to the one when we had the question on Jaime's.
Right.
That was approved on PA 200567, whatever, something in those numbers that we did years ago. So it's not shown on these approved plans, it's shown on previously approved plans that took care of the parkway landscaping.
Okay, so the rendering's wrong.
The rendering is incorrect as it's focused on the architecture.
Okay, that's it. My only question.
Gary? No questions. Mark?
Just one. Mr. Cooper, could you pull up slide 12, please? I think this is in the same vein as Commissioner Solis's question, but perhaps with a little variance. So is that rendering accurate, that that's the finished appearance of just basically a CMU block?
It'll be I believe it's a split face block.
Oh,
So
it's
it's
split
not,
face.
it's not just your standard go to a construction site CMU.
It's split face, okay,
Correct.
not precision
Correct.
face. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so my only question really, Scott, and I think you answered it, but, so 10 out of the 15 have the enhanced elevations. I just wish there was more on the back of those homes. Like, it just, so even the 5 that don't have anything, again, and maybe this is a question for the applicant, whether that would be an option, especially if you're paying $1 million for your home.
That's what I was going to ask.
Wow. It just feels like there's nothing on the back. So maybe I'll ask that of the applicant, unless you want to answer it, Scott.
I can start the answer and then
Okay.
Mr. Gomez can finish it. So those 5 that do not have the enhanced elevation, the backs of those would be facing the blueberry farm. That's there, so staff would not request for those to be enhanced because it's not seen from the public right-of-way. So that's why staff wouldn't make that recommendation or request on the project, but Mr. Gomez can speak further to that.
Scott,
Okay.
I know there's a plan that shows where the enhanced elevations are. Can you bring that up? Or I think it's the fence plan. I also have one more question, sorry.
So kind of hard to see, but all these lots that have the asterisk on them, these are the ones that have the enhanced elevations. So these 5 right here on the bottom are the 5 that do not. But a couple of these have double enhanced because you're going to get the view from both streets. So the corner one here, this corner one, and then this corner one, because of the offset, you're going to see this side. So that's enhanced, and then you get it on the back also, because you're going to see it from Butterfield, same as this one. As you're coming up Butterfield, you're going to catch this side. Coming down Butterfield, you're going to catch this side. So they have double enhanced on those ones as well. That's kind of something we learned as we were doing, call it Somers Bend proper on the other side of the street. Kind of as you're going down Loop Road, some of those you see along the wash probably should have been enhanced when we were first doing it. You didn't realize how much of those houses you were going to see. So now as we're doing this, we've been more particular on requesting more enhanced elevations if we even think you're going to see like a portion of that house.
Scott, I have a quick question on that. If you're going northbound on Butterfield Stage, I get where the enhancements are now, but I'm just curious, the other 4 to the west of there that don't have it, is that correct?
Correct.
And they're not visible from Butterfield then, as you drive northbound?
In staff's opinion, upon the review of the project, we did not feel that you would see enough of the house. That does not mean that we could ask the applicant.
I just wanted that explained.
And then I just have one last question.
ahead,
What is the elevation on those pads there and on the street? Is it relatively higher? One, 2, and 4.
12, 14, and
Oh, okay.
so it looks like 6 feet below the street.
Oh, below the street.
Yeah, if that's 1214, and then this is the
Yeah,
pads at
1208.
1208.
Okay. Think more of a reason to maybe enhance those elevations because of the grade change.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
think that would be
thinking,
good.
just because you're at the Blueberry Farm doesn't mean you can't see the back of the home. Anyway, okay, any other questions of staff at this time? No one? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing and invite Mr. Edgar. That's your first name, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And your last name again?
Gomez.
Gomez. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, specific questions of Mr. Gomez. Let's start over here. Mr. Watson.
You know I'm going to ask. How much?
These are going to be, obviously, they're larger lots, square footage. These are definitely going to be well over $1 million.
How far over would you guess?
You know, I would probably say they're going to be closer to maybe 1.1.
Yeah, okay, good. Pardon me, you heard the question I asked Mr. Cooper about that, because I kind of blanched a little bit when I saw what appeared to be a precision face of a CMU block wall there, so I blanched on that. And then it occurred to me as we went back over it that, is that your intent, to make that a split-face block?
Yes, it is. Good catch, sir. I didn't see that on the visual product that we delivered to Mr. Cooper, or else I would have made a point as well. But yes, our intent is to have split face, decorative split face along anything that faces right-of-way. Precision would never be shown on anything, any exterior.
Is the intent then to make, to do a single face, single-sided split face, and precision facing inward to the
That is
yard?
typically what we do, correct. It would be split face exterior, precision interior.
Thank you.
Edgar, what would your feeling be on my point as far as the 4 additional lots that weren't enhanced, or 5 that, along this?
We have no problem making those enhancements.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Wait, Bob? That's my question. Yeah. And Fernando, same?
No, that was the same thing.
Yeah. Mine as well. Definitely. If you're spending 1.1 million for your house. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions of Mr. Gomez? Nope. Going once? No? Okay. All right. Any public speakers on this item?
We have none.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. Thank you, Mr. Gomez.
You're welcome.
And we'll go ahead and discuss, my colleagues. And Gary, why don't you start us off?
Okay. Sounds like there's no objection to extending the enhancements to all 15. So that's my only concern, and if he's amenable to that, then I would want to include that in a potential motion. And that's my comment.
Okay. Bob? Okay. Fernando?
I agree.
Same?
Yes.
And Mark? Are you want to say something about the cinder block?
I've had my fill of CMU, but thank you for checking. There's always room for more.
Just want to check.
Yeah, right. No, I was going to concur with what Commissioner Watt said, and also say, I thought that was a good forthright move to make that revision, or that. So I was pleased by that, and if now's the time for a motion, I guess I would.
Well, I would like to say something, if you don't
Please.
mind.
I was on cinder blocks. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely on the elevations, and thank you for that concession for sure. Just feel like there needs to be more of something on those homes for sure, so that will help a little bit. All right, we'll go ahead for a motion. Anyone? Fernando, would you like to do another
I'm
one?
making another motion to approve with the,
That's a hat
with
trick.
the condition.
So to clarify, so it would be a motion to approve staff's recommendation with the addition to require
Enhance.
that all 15
15.
homes have enhanced,
Elevations.
Elevations.
Yes, that's my motion.
All right,
Second?
and Gary seconded. So motion made by Fernando and seconded by Gary Watts. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries 5-0. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. All right, awesome. Now we will go to our last item, which I think our audience is here for, apparently. We haven't heard from them yet. So item number 5, planning application number PA22-0987, a development plan for an approximately 38,653 square foot, 3-story medical office building located on the west side of Avenida de Misiones, approximately 425 feet south of Temecula Parkway. Scott, you're popular tonight.
Thank you. The last item of the night, PA 220987, which we refer to as Parker Medical 2. So it's a development plan for the construction of an approximately 38,653 square foot, 3-story medical office building. This shows the location in red, which is located on the west side of Avenida de Misiones, approximately 425 feet south of Temecula Parkway. So it is located in the professional office zoning district. The project does contain one medical office building. It is 62 feet and 5 inches. You're allowed to go up to 75 feet in that zoning district. So there's parking, which is reciprocal across all the sites, and I'll explain that here on the next slide, where there's 318 parking spaces required, and there's 337 parking spaces provided. The architecture of the building is a mission-style architecture. So reciprocal parking, what is reciprocal parking? When you have shopping centers, or sometimes like this, where you have 4 projects in a row, you don't necessarily have to be able to park each individual project on its site. You can combine it into a reciprocal parking agreement. So here on the north, we have an existing bank. The next one is Parker Medical 1, which is a medical office building, and then you have the blank area, which is Parker Medical 2, and then finally the church on the south. They have a reciprocal parking agreement where they can all park wherever they want on that site. So if you're going to the church, you can park up at Parker Medical 1, you can park at the bank. So for Parker Medical 2, there's 99 required spots. There's only 82 provided. But they pick that up on other portions of the area. For the First Citizens Bank, there's 17 required and there's 42 provided. Parker Medical 1 has 75 required with 80 provided. And then the church has 127 required with 133 provided. So when you add that all up, that's how we get to the 318 with the 337 provided. So we are overparked for the 4 different projects once you combine them. In terms of the site plan, here's Avenida de Misiones out front. There is an ingress and egress from the project site onto the public street. They are both full turning movements, so you can come in with a left turn, with a right turn, go out with a left turn or a right turn. On the interior, there are 4 internal access points that will take you up to Parker Medical 1 to the north or to the church to the south. In blue is the location of the medical office building, and then, of course, we like to show the location of the bike racks. So in terms of the existing building, this is the St. Thomas of Canterbury Episcopal Church. This is the Parker Medical 1. I want to show you this just so you can see how the architecture is all complementary to one another. So it is mission-style architecture. This is a rendering of the building. So when you have your ironwork located throughout the elevation, you have your traditional S-tile roofing, where all the places and locations where there is roofing. You have your iron railing balconies, which are on the sides of the building. Decorative tower right in the middle. Earth tone stucco, which is the entire building. Your traditional arched windows. Corbels, and then a porte-cochere out front of the building. A couple renderings for you to look at. You can see that porte-cochere, so you pull in, get dropped off underneath, and then whoever's dropping you off can go find a parking spot, and then just from the other side of the building, the rendering. In terms of landscaping, the total landscape on the project site is 25.1. There's a requirement for 25% landscaping on the project site, so they do meet that. And types of landscaping is the Palo Verde, the compact Oregon grape, the Eve Case coffee berry, the rock rose, and the Wilson olive. In terms of environmental, this is section 15332, which is a class 32 for infill development projects. And with that, staff does recommend the Planning Commission approve PA 220927, subject to the conditions of approval. These conditions were also provided to this applicant, who is in agreement with all those conditions. I'm here for questions. The applicant is here, and the architect is here as well.
Thank you, Scott. Okay, and we'll start with Bob. Any questions of staff at this time?
The other buildings that are in that project area, when were they built?
So before I answer that question, forgot to say, I had a note, forgot it altogether. There were 2 comment letters that came in. They were placed before you. One comment letter was responded to by email. The second comment letter, I was able to get a hold of the person that did the email, and I had a conversation with her this evening before Planning Commission. Now, for the answers for Mr. Hagel's questions, I don't know when they were built, but I know when they were approved.
Okay,
The Parker 1 was approved in June of 2008. The church was approved in March of 2005. I could not find the bank, but I'm pretty sure that Mr. Bastian probably knows the year of when the bank was approved.
okay. That area there, that's zone commercial and whatever, when was that zoning when did that take place?
So it's zoned professional office, and I actually like that you asked that question because I happen to have a couple backup slides about zoning. So this is the current land use and zoning. So you can see the site is there in red, and then I highlighted or circled where it shows PO to represent the professional office. Now, the next slide I'm going to show you is the 1993 zoning map, which is not colorful, kind of hard to tell where project sites are. But what you need to pay attention to is this green spot. That's an open space spot that's in the middle of that community. So this is the 1993 zoning map. This that I just circled is that green spot. So that's how we knew where this location was for this project site. And then again, I circled in red the O, and then in the top left-hand portion of the slide, O equals professional office. So at least from 1993 to now, it's been zoned professional office.
Okay. All right.
Interesting, huh?
If you look at the parking map that you have, the parking, there is two handicaps, one in HC1 and HC2 out front. Inside, there is HC4, but I don't see HC3. And I see that parking space number 13 looks like a handicap spot, but it's not marked as a handicap spot.
Are those the ones that are the podium spaces that are on the first, under the second floor of the building?
Yes, yeah.
My assumption would be if we have an HC4, there's an HC3 in there, it's just not properly marked on the plan.
Okay, so there, I just want to make sure that there's at least 4 handicap parking spots, so.
And we can do a revised site plan that better shows that. That will end up being the stamped approved plan. Just as on the previous item, we'll revise the product placement plan to show the enhanced elevations.
Yeah.
Just so we're ensuring the locations of all those.
Okay. I'm good.
Fernando? Fernando, are you falling asleep?
No,
I
of course
tried.
not. My question is, are these properties owned by one entity?
The Parker Medical 1 and this project are owned by the same person. The other two are not.
Okay. That's that one. And what is the rear setback of the proposed building to the property line?
So there's two answers. If you are a commercial building in a PO zone backing up to a commercial zoning district, it's 10 feet.
Okay.
However, since we're backing up to a residential zoning district, it's 25 feet. So there's an additional 15-foot separation from residential zoning districts.
And is that what the applicant's proposing, 25 feet?
Correct, it's right on 25 feet.
Okay. And my other question is, do you have a material board for this project?
I do, but it's not
It's
in my,
okay.
it's not in my
Don't worry.
possession.
I think my only question was the color of the windows. In some of the renderings, they show it black, and then in the other renderings, they show it white. And then I know that the adjacent building has black frame windows.
We can ask the applicant for clarification on that.
Okay,
Could be the color of the screen, but we can ask them.
okay. And I think my only question was, the last one was for the awnings. I don't know what kind of awning material that is, or it's like striped. It looks striped, but I can't tell.
It's striped, and we can follow up with the applicant on the material on that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Gary?
Scott, do you have information on the hours of operation on these 4 facilities?
We do not have hours of operation for this because essentially right now it's a shell building that many different medical office companies will use. The applicant may be able to give better idea on maybe what's being used on Parker Medical 1, because that's probably going to be very similar to those uses.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know that information. It seems like with the uses of that site, most of the activity would be occurring during normal business hours, but I'd like to hear from the applicant if that's true or not, and how it would affect the weekends. I know the church is probably pretty busy, but the others I'd be curious about. Thank you.
Mark?
I have no questions, thank you.
Okay. Scott, I do have a couple questions. So on those balconies, those are decorative, I'm assuming?
They're usable.
They're usable, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also had questions on the awnings. Those looked a little strange to me, like they kind of didn't fit. So I wanted to know what those really look like. And then, and also my question was on the business hours, which I assumed would be similar to Parker Medical. I've actually worked there before at Parker Medical, my job, and so most of those offices are very, 8 to 5 kind of situation. So then also the letters of concern that you said, so on the one from Debbie Chesney, is that the one that you emailed or talked to on the phone?
I had the conversation with Ms. Chesney.
Had a conversation, and then the other one with Tina Kemper, that was an email?
That was an email. It appears that she is on maybe the condo association board on the project that's behind this proposed project. So, but I was able to answer all her
You
questions.
were able to answer her questions? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. And were both of them satisfied with those, as you know?
There was no response to my reply to the email.
Okay.
In my conversation with Ms. Chesney, I would say she was not satisfied.
Okay.
But I did provide her the information that she was requesting.
Okay, all right, great, thank you. Any other questions of Scott at this time? And I want to see that too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing and ask our applicant to come on up. Please? Yes, I do.
Well, thank you for taking a look at our new project that we have there, and I got to thank Scott for all the hard work he's done, Ron doing all the hard work on the project too, because we've brought to the city, I think, a nice project. We've helped the city in extending their trail system that dead end into that project, and was a major problem from homeless people crawling over the fence and really going after all the people in the parking lot at this church and everything. So. And we've worked with the department there, the police department, in getting the homeless people taken care of, so we don't have that big problem we used to have right there. And
Before you go on, can you introduce yourself, please?
my name is Michael Bastian. I'm I represent the owner, Parker 215, or Don Parker. He's the owner of the first building we built. I built the first building also. And this is our architect.
Hi, I'm Ricardo Ferguson with MAA Architects, and I'm the principal architect on the project.
Okay, can you tell me the owner's name again, please?
Pardon?
The owner's name again?
Don Parker.
All right.
He couldn't make it. He had a tragic accident going on 3 years now.
Yeah.
As the project slowed down, he became a quadriplegic. So he's just now saying, let's get his life back and kind of mentally back. He said, let's build it. I need to get something going. So we're back at it now.
Okay.
Get this project off the ground.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, for sure. So questions of Mr. Bastian at this time? I'm going to start with Mark. No? Gary?
Did you have information on my question regarding the parking hours of operation?
The parking hours of operation in this building normally is going to be between 8 and 5 on that. That's normally when it's on this new building. It's The one on the other one is a little different. It starts earlier in the morning, around 6 o'clock, and then leaves around 5. And then they have the sleep center that's there. That's only 3 people that come in the nighttime, and that's from 9 o'clock until about 5 o'clock in the morning. So that it's strange hours. But it works well.
So would it be a somewhat accurate statement to say that most of the activity would occur during
8 to 5.
8 to 5, Monday
Yeah.
through Friday, weekends?
No, just 8 to 5 on Monday through Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
And since you're talking about the sleep center, what does that mean? Like, people come in and,
Yeah, so what it is on the sleep center, it's for sleep apnea. So there's 3 rooms up there, they're spectacular, and they do a study on you for your sleep apnea. And it's normally they open the doors open at 9 o'clock, then they get up and leave at 5 in the
9
morning.
p.m.
Yeah.
yeah. And then I know they have a dialysis there, and that's the one that probably starts at 6 a.m.
That's DaVita.
DaVita,
DaVita's on the
right.
bottom floor, correct.
And that's the one that starts at 6?
Pardon?
Is that the one that opens at
Yeah,
6 a.m.?
it's 6,
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
But that's just a few people that come in
Right.
at that time. The majority of the people for DaVita come in at 10 o'clock to, there's windows. There's normally 4-hour, 5-hour.
right,
So
right.
that's normally the windows. And they're mostly all brought in by private carriers, because most of the people
Right.
are ambulatory.
Well, since I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and ask about the awnings.
Yes.
So we have a material board here, but we don't have the awnings on here. So,
It's a Sunbrella. It's got like a 15-year life on it, but since it's an HO, we have a property owners association on it. It will be maintained meticulously.
do you know the color?
It is, that particular color, I believe, goes with it. It's kind of a light, what would you say, a tan and a yellow mix?
It's a blended striped color. It has a little orange in it, has a little tan in it. It's complementary to the stucco color of the building, but
Okay.
it's not a solid monotone.
Right,
Yes.
okay. Okay, hopefully it looks better than what it looks like. Just saying. Okay, all right. No questions here. You had your questions. Bob?
Just concerned about the handicap parking.
Yes.
Yeah, that, at least on here, it shows number 13. It's a wider parking space, but doesn't show as handicapped. And the number HC3 is missing, so I was assuming that was it. It's up against the building, so,
Yes, Commissioner, there should be 5 parking spaces.
Should be
HC parking
5?
Spaces, 2 on the north, 2 inside the building, and 1 across from the porte cochere that's a little bit wider.
okay, yeah, I missed it because there's van parking as well, which were wider, so
Yes.
yeah. So there is 5.
Yes, so the van parking and...
If you could speak into the mic for the record, please.
The van parking is obviously wider.
Right.
The EV parking space that's accessible would be wider also. But we were trying to get 5 ADA parking spaces on the project.
No,
for
closer
each
to the mic,
different
please.
type of lot, inside, outside, and adjacent to the porte cochere.
Okay, good, all right, thank you.
Fernando?
I'm next.
You're next.
I think my only concern or question is about the awning. I don't think the awning, I saw the material boards. The material board looks great. It's just that awning, I don't think it fits well with the whole building. Is there any possibilities of maybe more of like a permanent type of roof structure in that area? Or maybe if you kind of enlarge that balcony area, maybe one more window, so it's more of a proportion to it?
So Commissioner, are you referring to the fabric awning over the windows?
Yeah.
Okay. That material, we can present some other options for that material.
Maybe
The
like-
awnings are there to carry on that mission style and also to shade those upper windows. But
Okay.
there's a couple of different types of materials that well, not materials, but fabric patterns that we can look at.
Maybe like a black.
Well, the problem with, Commissioner, the problem with black is it's good for the first year, and then it fades dramatically, right? And so there's a heavy maintenance cost on the real dense, dark colors.
right? Whether there's sunbrella
I
or.
agree.
Yes, right.
I agree.
So,
And then I saw the windows are like light green.
yes, they're green.
Looks good.
Is there any option on those awnings to, like what Fernando was saying about it not being a fabric, but some other kind of material?
I didn't think that the Planning Commission would approve a metal product. The fabric has a better maintenance history. The only other product would be probably a metal awning, not a fiberglass or another synthetic material. So we either have the fabric or we have, I would assume, a metal product. Yeah,
It's the only choice I think we have.
yeah.
When you say metal, like what kind of
It
metal?
would be a standing seam metal.
Standing seam?
Right, yeah.
So then you would frame it just with those little, I
Well-
don't know what you call those.
Well, we would have the perimeter frame, and we would also have the kickers on it, so it looks like a projecting awning that we have there with decorative ironwork, right, mounted to the face of the building.
I haven't seen metals. Okay.
That seems like that would look better. That would be my opinion on that, but I don't know. Any other questions of the applicant? Fernando, are you good?
I think that my only concern is just the awning. It's a great looking building and the awnings look great. Reminds me of a building like Cuba,
We can
like
bring
the
you some,
historic district in Cuba.
Yeah.
Looks great and looks like
Okay.
a great looking building. I just feel that awning really takes away from it.
So,
Okay.
Commissioner, question for you. Is it the material, or is it the?
think it's
is
the
it the
pattern.
quality of the material or the style of the awning?
I
that
think
you
it's
are
the
questioning?
pattern.
Okay.
The
it's
pattern, the stripes.
Okay.
And you said black is too much of a maintenance.
The black, dark greens, all of the dense dark colors like that tend to fade over time. So it starts out black, and in a year or so, it will be gray,
Yeah.
right? So it will look substantially different. The black would give it, a lot of impact, like, eyeliner around, your eyes. It would be pretty nice and striking. We just don't think it would last that long. It won't maintain that dense color over time. So the variegated patterns give us a little bit more workability and a little bit more service, because as it fades, you can't really tell the fading in the fabric.
I don't know, it's kind of hard to make a decision right here. Or maybe we can discuss it.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions of the applicant? No? All right, then we'll go ahead. Do we have some public comments? Thank you.
Okay.
We'll bring you back up if we need you up here.
Thank you.
We have none, but I would like to announce that the letters that were electronically submitted, copies were provided to the commissioners, to staff, and there's a copy at the binder at the table in the back, just for all to know.
Okay.
It looks like someone might want to make a public comment.
Okay. Yes. Why don't you grab a pink slip for after the, come on up. Welcome.
Okay, we have Tina Kemp here to speak.
Oh, hi.
Hello there.
Welcome.
I have some concerns because I survived the building of the Parker Medical Center 1. And that was quite a ways from my unit. But it went on for 3 to 4 years. It was noisy, it was dirty, it went on forever. And then what would happen is, in the middle of the night, between usually 4 and 5, there would be some sort of a truck or vehicle that would come in and they would back up. And their backup alarms would wake me up every night that they were there. So I don't know if it was somebody picking up people at the sleep center or what, but it occurred while they were building and not afterwards. So I just want to make sure that's not going to happen now. The other thing is, having that building 25 feet from the condominiums is too close. It's way too close. What it'll do is it'll block the light, the sunlight that keeps the plants healthy on the embankment between our property and the Parker Center. And when that happens, the root structures will die in the bank, and that bank's going to become unstable. It's just too close. If they could have more parking behind the building and put the building closer to the street, that would be, in my mind, more acceptable. The other problem is that building is so much taller than the other buildings that are existing there, it just looks odd. And it's just not aesthetically pleasing to look at. And I get that that property is going to be developed, but it does pose some significant problems for those of us that live on the other side. And I have, as you could see from my email, I have multiple concerns. And I just don't know how they're going to be addressed. I don't know how long they're planning on building this, how long this building will take, but 38,000 square feet is likely over 6,000 tons. And if they put that building too close to the back end, I am worried about the stability of that bank, because they are elevated from us by, 6 to 8 feet. So they're going to be 3 stories and then an additional 6 to 8 feet, and then we're recessed down below. So I think there's going to be increased risk of flooding of the lower units in the condominium complex. I think it's going to be a disaster if you put that building so close to the condominiums. It needs to be at least 40 to 50 feet away, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. And there were other issues as well, but I think most of those were addressed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. Okay.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak at this time that has not put a speaker card in? Going once? No one? Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and ask the applicant to come back up, please, and address the concerns.
So I can answer a couple of those questions
Okay,
as well, as we were
great.
doing some planning stuff over here. First, early on, there was a question about when the buildings were actually built. So we looked at some stuff up. The bank was in 2008, the church was in 2010, Parker Medical 1 was in the late 16, early 17 timeframe. So we have that. In terms of the construction noise, per our Temecula Municipal Code, construction is only allowed Monday to Saturday from 7 to 6:30. And I did let Ms. Kemper know that should you hear construction noise, to contact the city, and that becomes a code violation, and we'll take care of that. We get construction noise complaints on projects per project, and sometimes it takes some education with the construction supervisor to get that under wraps. In terms of the setback, so the building is set back 25 feet from the property line, not from the next adjacent building. We were able to pull up our GIS and do some measuring. It's another 20 feet to the first condominium building, so it's 45 feet away, building to building. So 25 feet to the PL.
Can you pull up that slide so we can kind of get an idea of what you're talking about?
So the red square is the project site, is roughly the property line. So from that property line to the closest condominium building is an additional 20 feet. So it'd be 45 feet from the proposed medical office building to the existing condominium building. And then in terms of the construction length of Parker Medical 1, Mr. Bastian can do a better job of answering that than I can, but it was a much longer than a typical construction period for that type of building, and he may be able to speak to the reasons behind that.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Scott, could you show us on that map where the condominium is that you're referencing? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, thank you.
Oh, okay. 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 This is your time to have a rebuttal or
Yes.
address
I think I heard
concerns.
some of her concerns.
You need to be in front of the mic, though, please. Thank you.
Yes, I think I've heard some of her concerns there. We'll start with the construction. The construction for the shell won't take as long as Parker 1, if that's what she's talking about. During the course of Parker 1 and during the purchase of the bottom floor, DeVita came in and it changed the rating on the building. So we had to redo the plans, redo the fire rating, go back through fire department. So we had a delay there of a few months. Then that made that building a little bit longer to answer a question there. The other one on the drainage, there is no drainage issue on that site. The landscape next to and behind the wall there that goes down, the elevation change, I think, is about, 8 feet, I think, between the two properties there. It's all established. It's been there for the last 20 years. And the trees are probably, at this time, we've got some trees back there, a 25 to 30 foot tall, very thick. So there's no way there will have any erosion. There's a masonry block wall at the top of the bank that's 6 foot high. Never had any water ever running off that project when we weren't, when the project was bare. So I don't think they should be concerned about that. The site was a complete fill site at one time. As you remember, I've been here since actually '83, so I've seen everything happen in this valley. That particular site goes from where the bank is at right now, from about 0 fill to the tip out where the church is at, about 30 feet of fill. So it's a big sliver it went out there. And it was all compacted and put in at that time per code. So if there's any, and we concerned about the height of the building and the weight and everything, it's all designed to handle that. There's no, we don't want a building sinking, that's for sure. We don't want that. If you can address anything.
Sure. So additionally, with respect to drainage, we have a full gutter system. All the water on the roof is being collected. None of it is being discharged directly into the area between Parker Medical 2 and the existing residence and that retaining wall back there, right? So all the water is coming to the front of Avenida. So we're not washing out anything there. Obviously, the building will be designed not to surcharge that soil or surcharge that line or have any effect on our 25-foot setback from the wall. So the building will be quite stable. Drainage will be moved away from that, so we should obviously be in pretty good shape. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yep.
Yes, Mark?
Briefly, so is that, are you proposing carriage of the water that you're capturing, just directly carrying it out to ADM? Or is there any kind of underground retention or detention?
We have both. We have the.
Close to the mic.
We have the water retention basin that's built on site that comes, that'll collects. And then if it overflows during a major event, like all of them do, it will discharge out and go through the pipe out to on Avenida Misiones and goes down to the storm drain where everything goes right now.
I see, okay. Is that just a basin, or are there underground, like those Quonset structures that will retain it on an impervious surface?
We did not use the dome system because we're in between the 12-foot planter, so we're over-Xing out the planter system there, creating a whole new water quality basin, but we'll call it a basin for right now, for all the filtration and all storage and everything goes right into there. It's about, I'd say, what are we, about 80 feet long, 90 feet long in there? 90 by 12, somewhere in there. It's pretty good size.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions of the applicant? You do? Okay, Bob?
Thank you.
Oh, no, Bob has a question for you.
Yeah,
I didn't hear you.
and maybe Scott can answer this too. On the map before, you showed an open space lot. And I gather that's like across from Parker 1. And is that the lot that somebody was referring to as being protected habitat?
Correct.
Okay, so that's not the Parker 2 site then?
No, that is the Parker 2 site. The protected habitat was incorrect information.
Okay. All right.
While you're on that map, can you go ahead and show the condominiums again, where they are, please? Okay. So, and I noticed also that the max allowed on that site is 75 feet, but it's 62 feet, 5 inches, correct? So it could be even a taller building, could be.
Correct.
10 feet taller. So I understand those concerns, but I know that it's zoned for that. Okay, thank you on that. And are there any other questions from or for the applicant at this time? No one? Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, Chairperson, we just wanted to address the height of that building again.
Okay.
So that is in fact the max height from adjacent finished grade to the top of the cupola. That's not really the total mass height of the building. So
Can
the
we
building-
put the slide up of the building again?
Yeah. So the
Okay.
building's actually lower. There's another 15 feet up there, you know, from.
So the building itself is how tall?
58, I don't know, Scott, do you have that section?
Yeah, it's under 60, it's in the mid-50s.
Okay.
And our other building next door is about, the top of that one there goes up to
If you
about
can speak into
52
the
feet.
mic, please.
I'm sorry. The Parker One, I believe that building goes up to, on the cupola on that, we're about 52, 53 feet. So there's about a 10-foot between the two of them.
So 10 foot higher is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
right.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I think we're good on questions. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and if nobody else wants to speak as far as public comments, then I will go ahead and close the public hearing and open up for our colleagues to discuss. We'll start, Mr. Watson.
Pardon me, yeah, I just wanted to add, or I guess mention briefly my experience with outdoor awnings. So we own a number of car wash operations, and at those operations, you know, we have self-serve vacuums, and then we have stanchions or poles, and mounted to those in a laced-up pattern are cloth or fabric awnings, you know, to shade the customers while they're doing their vacuuming. Boy, did we learn the hard way on that. There was a heck of a curve. I don't even know why the distributor, I think it was Coolaroo or some brand, but even offered that. But they did, we bought it. But we bought it in really dark colors because we like them. We like the super dark blues or the deep burgundies and that kind of thing. Wow. I don't know what the exact ratio is, but the lifespan ratio of the fade on those things, it was dramatically different than, say, when we shifted over to, I think, one site we have yellow, another one we actually have a white or a beige. Dramatically different. Those darker colors just soak up the sun and appreciably shorten the lifespan of those things. So I think there's some veracity to what the architect is saying. I'm not in love with, it jumped right out at me, but I'm not in love with the striped design. I'll just throw that out there for consideration. I think there's some concern over that, but I don't know what it is, and I certainly don't have the sophistication to draw a specific architectural reference to it, but it reminds me of like a Parisian theme or something. And I don't know why I say that, but it does. That's just what comes to mind. So I'm not in love with that. But I did want to share, though, my experience with those darker awnings. We have spent many dollars buying the wrong ones, and they just don't hold up in the dark. So thank you for letting me share that.
Okay, Gary? Comments? Discussion?
Well, I've heard the concerns from the locals, and they have good points. We have to balance that out with the fact that the property's been zoned for this type of use, as long as we know. So, according to the planning documents and everything we do in the planning world, this project is appropriate, and it probably fits within the existing uses and the surrounding neighborhoods. I know probably don't want to hear that thinking, but from my perspective, they play by the rules, developer plays by the rules, obeys all the city zoning and the requirements with that. It's pretty tough to say they can't do something when everything has been basically complied with as far as regulations and codes and that type of thing. So it's certainly compatible with the surrounding use that's currently there on that particular zoned parcel. I did have a concern that was alleviated by the fact that it would be mainly during Monday through Friday when most of the traffic would be impacting that particular use. I know it doesn't do anything for the building because once it's built, it's there, and I understand that. But the uses seem to be, from my perspective, a bit on a minimal side compared to most of the projects that we talk about. So I'll leave the awning and things for the others. That's fine. That's not a big concern of mine. And at this point, I would think that most of the Ts have been crossed and most of the Is have been dotted from my perspective.
Okay, Bob?
I would agree with Gary. My only comment about the awning thing is if you did metal, I would just be concerned about the heat retention and passing heat into that, into that suite there. So that would be my only 2 cents related to that.
Fernando?
I think my only concern was the awning. I think metal, speaking, by what the architect mentioned, a black standing seam would be appropriate for it. I agree. And I also agree with Commissioner Watts about the applicant did follow the rules and he did do his 25-foot setback. And in addition to that, there is additional feet. So we're not right up against, the project isn't right up against the property line. So I could support this type of development. And I think that concludes everything.
Okay. Yeah, I think, also appreciate all of you being here tonight and having those concerns and coming here. I think that's really important as a community, and for you standing up for what you believe in and what you're concerned about, and we appreciate that, and we do listen to it. I hope that you know that. I think, yeah, our hands are kind of tied in what we can do when a project is presented here, and we have to look at everything. And I think that the applicant has answered those questions of what were asked to our satisfaction, so to speak. And the other thing is, yeah, I would like to, if whoever's going to make a motion, I would like us to include the awning as looking at that in a way that we can change that to make the building look sharper. I think I have a problem with that also. So whether it's metal, whether it's a different fabric, something, it just needs to be different than what is rendered. So I would appreciate that in a motion if we're all okay with that. And Scott?
I think they're going to try to figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we certainly appreciate that there are concerns about the awning. I think just in terms of if you want to approve the project tonight, then staff is going to need better direction unless you want the project to come back for final approving as to what the awning looks like. So the options would be approve tonight and provide specific direction in terms of, do you want the metal or do you want a fabric? If you want a fabric, at least kind of what is the general color scheme? And then that could be deferred to staff to make, the final approval on that. Alternatively, if the commission wants to see what the final product looks like, then you could continue the public hearing and have it redrawn, come back, and, so you could make that final decision. So it's either give specific direction to staff so staff can see the final renderings and say, yes, that looks in line with what the commission recommended, or alternatively, you see it again.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Matt?
If you could, I'd recommend you just provide the direction regarding the material and the color.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So, yeah, we don't want them to have to come back.
No.
I mean, my suggestion would be that black metal that we talked about, that they suggested. I think that would look the best, rather than trying to figure out a fabric that would work. There's so many different ways to go on that way, so I don't know. Are you good with that?
Yeah, if I could make a motion
Go ahead.
I would like to make a motion for staff to work with the architect to include a metal standing seam as the awning material, a black. If that's okay, and I would motion to approve the project.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Is that good? Enough? Clarified? Scott?
They didn't want to do black because
I
it
think
would
they-
fade.
No, that
No,
was
the
the
black
fabric.
awning.
This is-
the
We're talking about
fabric.
metal. Okay, I'm going to open up the public hearing again and bring the applicant up and just make sure that we're all good with this. We had that discussion with them while they were up here with about.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, about
so
the
we're getting
metal.
it- So we're getting it right.
Sure. Thank you for coming. We hope it'll end up better than you think. Okay, we can't, I'm sorry, we can't have a discussion like that, sorry. So, metal.
Yes.
We had talked about the
No
metal.
problem with metal.
No
Black
problem.
metal, don't have any problem. We'll just come up with, get everything to Scott. I'll have some designs to him. He can look at it, and you guys can all discuss it, but it's going to be just what you want.
Okay,
We just was going with the theme of the building and thought that would be the best thing.
okay,
But if we'd have known Stripes wasn't there, we probably would have put green up there.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is that good, Scott? Are we good?
That'll work for
Yeah,
us.
okay, so thank you. We'll close the public hearing, and now we'll have a final motion. Mr. Fernando?
Can I just?
I think the motion and the second, were, I
okay?
don't think we need
We're
to do
good?
another one. I think it's
Okay.
just confirming with them.
Just
so
want to
we're
make
good.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a
Can we
motion
confirm?
by Fernando and a second by Gary? No, Mark. Oh, Mark, sorry. A second by Mr. Watson. All in favor? We already voted?
We had already voted.
Aye.
Okay. We voted again. That's awesome. Okay, congratulations. Thank you. Okay. All right, awesome. Okay, we have commissioner reports. Fernando, you should give a commissioner report.
Okay.
He did one thing.
My wife had the baby, and we're very happy. Amado, his name is Amado Fernando Solis, and he's 5 weeks.
Oh,
So we're,
and he has a lot of hair.
and he has a lot of hair, full set of hair. So,
Little Mexicano, it's cute.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's my report.
That's your report?
Yes.
All right, Bob?
I attended the parade on 4th of July, and it was done very well. Congrats to all the staff that was involved, which I know there was one heck of a lot of staff involved. I just also wanted to say thank you to Shauna, who was our city photographer. I did take a picture of her and post on Instagram, and there was a lot of comments. Shauna was out there sweating her butt off, and she's at, so many events where she's out in that heat, and she's always got a smile on her face, and is, thrilled to do the job that she's doing. So also, we have a lot of other city staff members who are out there with all kinds of different cameras, including a drone, and doing the same thing out in the heat. And I just wanted to recognize them because they're doing their job, but they're doing a great job, and it's not something that people pay a lot of attention to. So.
Thank you. Gary?
Apparently, some of the citizens in Temecula need to review their driving instructions. I've noticed that, and I represent the pedestrian community since I spend a lot of time on the sidewalks. I don't know if it's inattention, phones, or the fact that some people aren't used to the fact that the green walk signals now turn on before the light turns green for the turn. So, long story short, I almost was killed twice this past week by people running through the intersection and the crosswalk while it's green for the pedestrian because they're too busy distracted. So, where's the wood at? Hopefully I'll be here for the future meetings, but that's just an observation. I know we've got problems with red light running and speeding and everything else, but it's scary when the big truck almost knocks you down in the crosswalk. So that's my only report.
We're
I
glad
do
you're-
want to
glad
compliment
you're
code enforcement. They have done a marvelous job with the shopping cart issue. And I've noticed that throughout the city with different vendors that have maybe started out a little rocky, but they have really got on fast. So compliments to code enforcement on that. I know it's one of my pet peeves, so thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Mark?
Only to say that Holly and I had the distinct pleasure of attending our first 4th of July Day Parade, and it was a genuine pleasure. Got to see fellow commissioners, got to speak briefly with all the city council members, and just had a really enjoyable time, and we're just grateful to live in this city. Thank you.
Thank you. We also went to the 4th of July parade, and my entire family was here for Trejo Games. And we all went to the parade. It was kind of fun. And it was interesting that, none of them live here, but they wanted the feel of a community parade, even though it wasn't their community. So it's just kind of fun to have that feel of coming to a parade. So I was proud to say this is our city, and we're happy to live here and happy to do what we can to help it continue to be family-friendly for those kind of events. So appreciate community services and Shauna. Yeah, she's amazing. She is at everything. And all of those people that worked hard all day long for that event. That's an incredible event. So appreciate all of them that help our city look even better with what we do. So thank you to all of those people. And Public Works, I'm sure there was a lot that Public Works did with that. They're kind of behind the scenes, keeping us all safe, so thank you. Okay, if there's no one else for commissioner reports, since everyone spoke, unless somebody else wants to say something else, I'm going to go to Matt.
I actually have 4 items to report on tonight.
Wow.
The first is I want to introduce Brandon Rabideau as our new Assistant Director in Community Development.
Woohoo!
So, Brandon, how long you been with the city?
A little over 12 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, Brandon was a community development technician, then a planner, then a management analyst, and then in charge of code enforcement. So he's worked his way up. I just want to say congratulations. The other item is, if you were at the last city council meeting or you're on social media, you may have seen some controversy regarding live entertainment. You're out in the community, you're representing the city as planning commissioners. Just wanted to be clear, the city is not canceling any forms of entertainment or live entertainment. The issue that people were speaking to at the last city council meeting is specific to one venue who canceled some shows, as it's hard to meet our decibel requirements for outdoor live entertainment, so that's what that's about. Any business can still come in, get a temporary use permit for live entertainment. They can fill out an application for the pilot program for outdoor live entertainment in Old Town, and they can come in for a live entertainment license. So we are not anti-music or live entertainment in the city.
I did have a question on that. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
On that? Because I know they talked about the decibel level of 75, right?
70.
Or 70. And as I went along on that ride-along with the police, and I held that in my hand outside of places that had that above that decibel, it was super loud. So it was interesting, those that spoke that night talking about that it's a washing machine, it's a dishwasher. I don't know what that means, but it is loud. And so I had a question about that. I was hoping, I don't know, this is probably not the place to say it, but anyway, do we know what's happening with that? As far as, are they planning on looking at that, changing that?
So as part of the general plan update, there's a specific noise element section. So the last time we did the update was in 2005. There's a specific noise consultant. We're going to be taking new readings, getting, ambient noise readings throughout Old Town, and then going through this process, we're going to figure out what what are the decibels in Old Town? Do we need to look at doing something different in downtown specific to decibels? So,
And you have people living there too.
that's correct.
Right.
So, we have our work cut out for us.
I want to be a part of that. Just remember that. I'm
You will be.
volunteering.
The
Okay.
Planning Commission will be.
Okay. I'm in it. Well, yeah, that's true.
That leads me into my next
Okay.
item, is we're going to be recruiting for a general plan advisory committee, so you're going to see that go out. That's a working group. That'll be about 15 people, 6 to 8 meetings to help us with the general plan update. The Planning Commission is going to have a specific role. Part of your responsibility is the development code and the general plan, so there will be touch points or milestones when the consultant comes in, gives a presentation, summarizing the work of the General Plan Advisory Committee, and then getting feedback from the Planning Commission. So I just wanted to let you know, that's going to be another advisory committee, kind of like the Blue Ribbon Committee.
Right. But that committee won't have a planning commissioner on it. That's an
No.
at-large.
No, that's an at-large.
But the planning commission subcommittee will have a part in the,
Actually, the full Planning Commission.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yep. So throughout the process, we'll have an agenda item, and we'll bring it in, and
And we can respond and
yes.
talk about that.
Yep.
Okay, Gary,
Do you have a estimated completion date?
you got to talk into the mic.
You have an estimated completion date on
Yeah,
that?
2027, we have a pretty aggressive schedule.
Thanks.
That is aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, last thing is there will be a special joint workshop on August 5th at 9 a.m. That's the city council and the commissions, but it will not involve the planning commission.
Oh,
It's regarding the Ready and Community Services
right.
Commission. So, planning commission remains, Old Town Local Advisory Committee remains. They will be discussing Ready and Community Services. So, just wanted to make sure you understood
yeah.
that.
Sorry, I'm going to miss that. I'm going to be out of town.
You're welcome to
I
attend.
would have been there. I
You're-
know.
You're welcome to attend, but it is not regarding the planning
Right.
commission.
Understand.
Okay.
Matt, will
Okay.
that be, is there going to be is that going to be memorialized somehow?
I'm sure it'll be televised.
All right.
It'll likely be recorded.
Okay. Thank you, Matt, and congratulations, Brandon. Okay, Ron.
Hi.
Bada beam,
So
bada boom.
only one item, you've noticed that the northbound on-ramp is closed at Rancho California Road. That's the slip-on, not the loop. And that has been closed since Sunday night. It'll go through Monday, and the detour has been working very well. We have not had the problems we had at Temecula Parkway. The traffic has been flowing really nicely, and so you can get through the detour. RSO has been timing it between 4 to 8 minutes, so it's not a delay at all. So we're very happy with it, but it will go through the weekend, and then we will see what happens after that.
Tell me where that is again?
Now,
Rancho Cal?
yeah, Rancho Cal northbound.
Yeah.
The slip on,
Right.
the straight, not the loop.
Was that, I mean, how long has that been going? Couple
It
weeks?
started on Sunday night, and it'll
Oh.
finish on Monday.
Okay.
It's very effective. On my way to the meeting tonight, I had to stop at the stoplight at Target, and there were 2 cars between me and the freeway going west.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
That was great.
The detour has worked really nicely, and so people have been finding it, and it's gone smooth.
Where is the detour?
You can either go up Yanez or Jefferson. The technical detour is Jefferson.
So the pipe that was found,
Mm-hmm.
what was that? Was that something, was it detached and just a,
It was just a drainage pipe, storm drain.
but was it operational or?
No, it was old from the old days
Oh,
of
okay.
the freeway.
That's kind of weird.
I don't know if this is a question for you or Matt, but do we know anything about the fires that's happened? There's been so many fire engines coming through the city. Great.
Yeah, so RSO has dispatched multiple units. They're out there with the road closures. 371 is closed right now. They are helping with evacuations and helping with movement of people. No one has yet opened any shelters here in Temecula. That's not needed yet. Awanga has their own shelter near the Kahia Casino. So they are out there right now.
So it's a Wonga.
It's a
what's
Wonga,
happening.
yeah,
Wow.
it's at 700 acres right now. And it's
Wow.
right across from, if you ever go that way, the Lake Riverside, community that's on the
Yeah.
left-hand side as you're going towards Owanga. It started right there, and it's about 700 acres moving to the east.
Wow. Yeah. I
But
just
371 is closed right now.
saw a
Any
bunch.
structures?
No structures yet.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of fire engines, bunch. Okay. All right, thank you, Ron. Anything else anybody wants to say before we adjourn? And we are, yes?
For the record, I will be missing not the next meeting, but the meeting after the middle of August. I'll be gone.
Okay. All right, so we're going to adjourn until August 6th? No, that one's canceled. Okay, so August 20th. August 20th? Correct?
Actually, we don't anticipate any items on the 20th, so we may not see you till September.
Oh, wow.
I believe it's September 3rd.
Okay, but you'll let us know for sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're adjourned until previous notice.
time.
Until
Till next time.
Until next time. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.